One of the biggest reasons for food insecurity is food waste. There's way more food in the value chain than we actually use. A third of all food produced is wasted. Good, edible food. This is a global issue, something we all need to care about. Good day, everyone. We are Enactus Vaal University of Technology, and we are reducing food waste by feeding people instead of landfills.
Food waste is not just a social or humanitarian concern. It's an environmental one. When we waste food, we also waste all the energy and water it takes to grow, harvest, transport, and prepare it. And if the food goes to the landfills and rots, it produces methane, a greenhouse gas even more potent than carbon dioxide. The methane produced is equivalent to 3.3 billion tons of CO2, making food waste one of the most significant contributors to climate change.
There is the economic impact. The total cost of food waste runs to the tune of $750 billion annually. This is more than the GDP of South Africa. These costs are then passed on to consumers, which leads to increases in general food prices.
This leads to a social impact. Food waste is contributing to food insecurity. We can't keep throwing food away while people are going hungry. 720 million people do not have access to healthy food. That's 11.9 times the population of South Africa.
So, how do we address a global issue? Well, the United Nations recommends focusing on responsible consumption and production, or simply, don't waste food.
Let's take a look at local. When looking at food waste, South Africa wastes 10 million tons of food annually. That's a third of all the food produced annually in South Africa. That's a lot of food that could feed almost 2.6 million food insecure people in our country.
The Council for Scientific and Industrial Research has quantified the financial burden of food waste at 61.5 billion rands annually. Money isn't the only thing that is lost. The energy wasted every year for processing food that is never consumed is estimated to be sufficient to power the city of Johannesburg for almost 16 weeks.
There is also water that is lost that we cannot see. About 1.7 cubic kilometers of water is extracted from the ground and surface water bodies to produce food that is subsequently wasted in our country. To put this to the context of our daily lives, spilling a full teaspoon of sugar equals about 1 flush of a dual flush toilet. Wasting a liter of milk is the same as taking 6 full baths.
Food waste is a social issue that we need to address. Our team started the design thinking process and wanted to validate some of the assumptions that we had. Using the lean startup approach, we talked to supermarkets and retail. We talked to supermarkets and quick service restaurants. The supermarkets approach was invalidated and quickly abandoned. However, quick service restaurants did confirm they had food waste and had food that they disposed of at the end of a working day. So we thought, what if we turn their food waste into a business? And we called that business
Foodable, a social enterprise that focuses on putting food that would have gone to waste into the hands of people who need it the most. Foodable reduces food waste in restaurants. Every year, restaurants accumulate costs on food waste charges. The sad part about this is that restaurants have to pay to have their food disposed of. So, we created a way for restaurants to save on the disposal expenses while serving affordable meals. We use a cashless currency. We worked with the VT Science and Technology Park to 3D print tokens that can be redeemed at any of our partner restaurants for a full meal made of excess ingredients. You can use the token yourself or donate it to someone in need.
We know you are thinking, do they use leftovers to make these meals? And no, they don't. The restaurants do not recycle food from people's plates. Instead, they use excess ingredients and meals that would have gone to waste. For example, if a restaurant prepares food in anticipation of 100 customers, however, only 70 shows up, the rest will be thrown out. Instead of wasting, the restaurant will allow a customer to exchange a token for a meal.
Tokens are sold at 20 rands each, where 15 rands goes to the restaurant and 5 rands comes to us once the token is redeemed. The idea is that these cost savings and additional revenue will motivate restaurants to be part of this change. We currently have one partner restaurant, Glamour Magic Takeaway. The owner, David, also expressed an interest in helping Vanderbilt Park residents in need.
Tokens can be purchased directly from us. To pilot, we started off by using paper and cardboard. This allowed us to validate our business model, while the VUT Science and Technology Park Idea 2 product team trained us on how to work with 3D computer-aided design tools. This training allowed us to design the tokens on how we wanted them to look and work.
Each token has a unique QR code on the back. This allows us to track each token. This data will allow us to understand customer trends better. We will then be able to tell if a token was sold and how long it was in circulation before it was redeemed. If a token has been out for 3 months, we count it as a lost token and issue a replacement token to take its place. The tokens are made using biodegradable material. This means if a token was thrown out, it would not be harmful to the environment.
We developed an app that restaurants can use to scan the tokens. This app was built internally by one of the members. When a person goes to a restaurant with the token, they scan it using this app, and then we get data about where the token was redeemed. We've also ensured that the token cannot be scanned twice. For example, if it has already been redeemed, it cannot be redeemed again. And if it has already been sold, it cannot be sold again.
Since March, we managed to sell 69 tokens, generating 1,380 rands in sales. 48 tokens have been successfully redeemed at our partner restaurants. That's 48 meals for people who need them. Our plan is to sell 20 tokens a week. That's 1,040 tokens next year this time. Our partnership with the VT Science and Technology Park allows us to avoid 3D printing costs because, well, we are not paying for the printing of tokens. Given that we're still a business, our plan is to invest 2,000 rand in each partner restaurant. This will help them get started, and we will then need to sell 400 tokens to break even.
We donated 11 tokens to VUT's Phakamisa Ikhaya program, which aims to help students who are not funded with food and suppliers. We donate tokens that the buyer would explicitly ask us to donate to someone in need instead of them doing so.
We went on further to validate and raise additional capital by participating in a business pitching competition hosted by the VUT's Technology Transfer Office in collaboration with Innovation Hub. The competition was focused on accelerating innovation and creativity. Our team took home the first prize of 5,000 rands, bringing our total income so far this year to 6,380 rands.
Cutting food waste is a delicious way of saving money, helping feed the world, and protecting the planet. And this is what Foodable is doing. We are Vaal University of Technology.
We will now begin with the question and answer period.
Good afternoon, VUT, and very good presentation, well done. Your tokens are biodegradable, you said, and so on the data that you have, you can verify that they're not doubly used. So how do you generate new ones? Do you then destroy the ones because you can't reuse and then regenerate new ones? Is that how you do it? Just explain your sustainability model there.
Oh, okay. So the part where we say that the token can't be used twice, it means that you can't take the token to a restaurant and then if you have made a copy and then take that copy to the same to the restaurant again. So you then can't scan it twice. That's the kind of model. The sustainability model is that we continuously print out tokens, right? So we generate new tokens in only when we have lost the token for a period of 3 months.
Thank you for
Anybody? Oh, yeah, you can go.
Okay, my name is Angie Maloka. I would like to find out from you, thanks for a very interesting presentation. How do you work out with the restaurant owner on a daily basis? How many tokens can they accept? Because remember, at the end of the day, they are running a business. They cannot be doing this at a loss.
So currently, we don't have a specific number of tokens that can be redeemed on a daily basis at a specific restaurant. But what we do is work on it like on a weekly basis. So far, we get about 10 tokens every week for that specific restaurant.
Thanks, team, for your presentation. There's a part I may have missed. You trying to reduce food wastage at the end of the day. So at what point do the tokens need to be redeemed for the food not to be wasted? So where do I know and how do I know when to go and how quickly? I just need to understand the process.
Okay, so it's usually towards, I would say, sort of towards the end of the day, right? But then the first partner restaurant that we worked with sort of expressed that we would like to help people, but if a person can come in a bit earlier, he's okay with it if they still have, if they anticipate that they'll have enough meals for that given day.
Thank you. So I'd also like to ask, if I wanted to donate to this, how is it that you would reach me from your marketing efforts? And how do you actually get the tokens to the people that need them?
Okay, so currently the marketing model that we're following is really word of mouth because we're sort of still working on like constant validation just to reinforce the business model in its entirety. And then could you please repeat the last part of your question?
So how do you identify the people that truly need the tokens?
Okay, so how we sort of identify people who would need the tokens is that currently we're looking into the university students that have been defunded by NSFAS, as well as if a person outside buys a token, we allow them to choose a person that they deem in need.
All right. Okay, VUT. Let's test your innovation like the keynote speaker said earlier. Let's take a second look at this. Your solution is all good, but I'm conflicted. I'm thinking, are you treating the symptoms here or the causes? And for us to do that, can you maybe give us few reasons why are people wasting food? To see exactly what should be addressed here.
Okay, so when we're looking at it, like people waste food because we sort of don't have like a perfect way to measure how much food we need at a specific time. So you might find that you are very hungry, but then the portion of food that you need is actually a lot smaller because you might be eating carbohydrates or proteins, which usually fill you up a lot faster than other kinds of food. So that's sort of the reason why we're looking into restaurants.
Hi there. I just wanted to understand, again, a bit more about how the token reaches the individual in need. What stops me from buying a token at half the price of a meal and then redeeming the token for my own personal use?
Your time has expired. Judges, please join me in thanking Vaal University of Technology for their presentation.